Page 28, the return. If you like to play a lot of notes and move around a bit, this is a lot of fun. If you've been doing the arpeggios, you get a little idea of what this is about. Chords, at least, chord inversions. Look at the notes in the upper staff in the first two measures. You get this here, it's a C chord, and the next one, to put the C on top, it's first inversion, and the next one is second inversion. It's just a C chord. When you can recognize these things in the music, it makes playing the music a lot easier because now you're not worried about every individual notes. You're taking them in groups of notes, and it makes it easier to play. It's like in measure 3. All these chords, if you can recognize the chords and you're accustomed to them, you don't have to worry about each note. You see the chord and you just play it. Anyway, let's look it over. It's 2 pages long, treble bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature. This is in the key of C major. So do the scales and arpeggios for C major and A minor. 6/8 times, so an eighth note gets a count. Right hand, we're just walking up the keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, scrunch up, scrunch up. You want to get eventually where you can even do this without looking. It just happens. And then I do a 4 on the D. The chord is actually this. And that's the fingering for it, so that's what I use, 4. And then 3, 5. And then a measure 4, it's a 1, 2, 4. So here, here. I don't want to do here. I don't want to do 3. No, it's here, here, here. You do it again. And 3. Now, I suggest for measure 8, do a thumb. Play thumb on it. That way, in the next measure, you can feel it. Now, you have a rest. I want to feel my way around. And I can feel this a lot better here. And this, that's really all it is. Left hand starts out simple. Not a bad thing. I hope now, go down to measure 10. It's an F. I use 4 on that too. Again, that's the chord, that's the fingering, so that's what I use. Okay, goody. Put the hands together. Well, it's not bad until measure, 3? We're here. Now, in the left hand here, measures 3 and 4. Here. They have a 4, but since you have a C coming up, I think it's easier if you'll reach down and play the measure 4, play that G with second finger. This way, your little finger's closer to where you want to go. I'm just getting ready for what's coming. Here and then here. Anywhere else, I get that passage. I'm going to do the same. Now, measure 7, I am using thumb on all those. Move the right hand down. This way I don't have to worry about both hands. Just left hand's ready. Now, this, when I play the G, that comes up. That's 2/8 notes worth. Yeah. And that's really basically what it is. So I put the hands together, and then I go back over just a few measures at a time, slowly. I work out the hesitations, and then I think about the articulation. This is connected. You can't connect the chords, but pretend you can. Otherwise, you're just lifting up for the rest. Then the dynamics applies to the melody, which is the right hand, moderately loud. The left hand is soft. Moderately soft. Now this is very soft. Moderately loud. Moderately soft, loud. And here the left hand is just loud too. That's melody. And then soft, measure 11, echoing it. I don't finger this exactly the way it is in the book because I'm accustomed to other fingering. It's like measure 10 here. I don't go a 1, 2, 3. I'm playing measure 10 and 11 in this position. All of it, both measures, all of it in this position. I'm not moving around at all. Here, I'm not going there. There's no point. If I can get them in one position, I'm going to do it. At the beginning, I could do that too. I could take all the notes in the first measure in one hand position. I could do that. And then move. And typically, that's how I would finger something like this. But as far as the practice goes in doing this, it's good practice. And not that fast, but the point is you get a feel for these inversions. If I play the right notes. And that's sort of what we're after, so I'm not encouraging you to change the fingering. However, in 10 and 11, I will do it that way. Same thing happens in measure 18 and 19, same notes. So after I do the dynamics, I keep getting off. Then I think about the speed. The Vivace is quite fast. It's not as fast as there is. There's faster than Vivace, but Vivace is quite fast as far as we know. People haven't always agreed on Vivace, and Vivace is not always meant really fast. But in this environment, when this composer lived, it meant pretty fast. It's the feel of it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Don't have to go that fast. Yeah, somewhere in there, it's fine. Just make sure it's accurate. Now on top of that, they've added pedal. Well, again, why are we doing pedal? What is it doing to it? Do we need it? In my opinion, no, you don't need it. You can do just fine without it. But again, they've added pedal, and that may be part of what the effect he wants. So let's examine it. I'm going to push the pedal down pretty close to the notes because they go so quick. If I don't get it down, I won't catch the first note. I'm going to lift it up with the hand for the rest here. And then, same thing. This way it's pedaled throughout. That's pretty much how it's pedaled. It gives contrast between this and this. And that's a nice effect. It works. We can do it that way. Now, one question you might ask is, well, if I'm pedaling this, why does it matter when I lift up the left hand? Why do I need to lift it up? Why do I need to lift it up there? Because the pedal's going to carry it out. I can just get off of it. It's the same sound. And the answer is because you want to be correct and exact in your technique on how you're doing this, because even though in this piece it may not make much difference, in another piece it would, or it might. So just be accurate anyway, even though it doesn't sound any different. I want to make a change. Now I am going to suggest that you lift the pedal up right after you play the quarter note in the second measure. Right after I play that, I'm going to lift the pedal up immediately. I'd like that note to sound by itself. Here. That, it kind of prepares for what's coming, because we're not pedaling what's coming. So I don't need to have all these sounds going all the way through to the eighth rest. I'll just clean it out just so I just have the C. Do it. However, you do it the way your teacher tells you to, or experiment a little bit with the pedal. If you wanted to pedal the chords, you'd have to change it with each harmony. Change, change. But then you lose the contrast between this and this. Between overtones and smooth and the choppiness and cleanness of the chords. You lose that contrast. It's interpretation.